kind of the same way because you could talk to somebody. Like I make like 400 phone calls a day, and like I want you to talk about how it's in sales. It's the same way because like when you meet somebody, if they resist in the beginning, they're going to resist at the close when you ask them for the money. So can you like just talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. Well, the thing is that you guys have to understand that when it comes to this whole thing, you want women to be about it from the jump. You understand? And the same thing, because like, for example, with sales, what happens is that you have people that are ready to buy, but you also have people that you would need to try to convince. The people who you got to try to convince aren't the ones who are really, really ready to buy it. So what happens is that some people you end up convincing to a certain extent, they'll probably buy, and then the other half isn't. But what happens is you waste a lot of time trying to convince those people who don't want to buy. You understand what I'm saying? But the thing is that a lot of times the reason why you're trying to convince is because you or to say this, you're trying to convince because you need the sale. You understand what I'm saying? So if you didn't need the sale, you wouldn't try to convince. Do you understand? So if I have, for example, if I'm selling a product, right, and I have people left and right buying, and then one person comes through and they're like, I don't know. So now I'm talking to this person for what, 20 minutes, half an hour to convince them to buy the product. Why? I'm missing out on the other people who's ready to buy like this. Now, if I'm not selling like this, then it makes sense for me to try to convince this person because I need sales. You see what I'm saying? But if I don't need sales and I have people coming in all the time, then why would I waste time trying to bother to convince this person? You see what I'm saying? So the issue is that you have some people who they're so desperate that they're trying to convince heavy, right? Because they need the sale. You understand what I'm saying? And then you have the people who the product is so dope and so attractive that they got a lot of people who are trying to buy the shit. So it's the same concept. So my thing is that even the guy that called earlier, if you want to date and she's not being receptive to you, end the date and then call up another girl, set up another date, do something else. You see what I'm saying? That's more productive to your time. Because what happens is that if you got to waste all this time to convince the chick, then what is essentially saying is that chick off rip hasn't seen the value. So now what you're doing is by trying to convince her, right? You're trying to take someone who's not really interested and turn them into somebody who's interested. But the thing is this, you wouldn't have to do that if they were interested in the first place. You understand what I'm saying? You wouldn't have to even do that.
Yo, look, you see, because I follow Grant Cardone, right? And I had a like a big sale. But the thing was that when I called the guy, he hung up on me like 5 times, Lucario, right? And then the 6th time, he was like, "I see you're the real deal. Call me in an hour." So I called him in an hour because I do working capital for business owners. So I called him in an hour, and we end up getting him a $600,000 line of credit. We end up getting him $500,000 in working capital, and then we end up getting him a $3.4 million SBA to pay off that $1 million and net $2 million fresh cash. So that's why I'm calling, because it's like I hear what you're saying, but in the same breath, it's like, how do you know like not to go for it? Because like how do you know to not keep following up until the person like he didn't see he didn't know if I was everybody else or I was him, the guy that could solve his problem. That's why he hung up 6 times. He told me, he was like, "Rex, I get 1,000 phone calls a day. I don't know who's who." And so that's why he hung up 6 times. And I kind of persisted, but I got the deal done. But you know what I mean? Like,
so
you understand where I'm coming from?
So what's your question?
So my question is, how do you know, like, because I'm basically like comparing sales and women. Like, how do you know when to be like, all right, I'm not pursuing that. You know what I mean?
Right, but see, the thing is, this was the issue. See, you were trying to get the sale, right?
Right.
Right. So that's the difference. See, when it comes to the game, I'm not trying to get the woman. Do you understand what I'm saying? So see, okay, think about it this way. So think about what you're doing and then think about me like Amazon. Like Amazon does not, I've never had Amazon call me to try to convince you to buy shit. You understand what I'm saying? Like I go to Amazon, I take all the shit that I want and I press buy. You understand what I'm saying? So Amazon has never need to convince me to buy anything or to purchase anything, right? They have what I want. Do you see what I mean? So what I'm saying is that you can still do that, meaning you can still go and try to get the woman. What I'm saying is that when you're interacting and dealing with women, it's best practices to allow a woman to try to get you. You understand what I'm saying? Right. To prove herself to you so that you can pick her. You understand what I'm saying? Because the thing is this, is that when you're dealing with women who are not really feeling you, right? What you're essentially doing is that you're spending a lot of time on a maybe. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Whereas you could spend more of your time to deal with, you know, the chicks that are showing you, hey, I want to be here. I want to fuck with you. I want to do this. So what I'm saying is, let's say, for example, that guy you called 6 times, right? Let's say he still didn't want to fuck with you. Then you'd have been like, damn, I wasted all this time talking to this guy when I could have spent more time and probably got 2 more sales out of somebody else. You see what I'm saying? So even though you got that sale.
You know the funny thing about it is, Sicario?
What's up?
The funny thing about it is when we did the deal, he got everything. But when it was time to pay us, he used his lawyer and tried to shorten the fee. So the resistance was in the beginning. See? So the resistance was in the beginning and it was in the back end. So I get it.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's the same. This the same shit. That's exactly what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is the resistance showed up in the other parts. Because remember, this is what you got to understand. See, when you're trying to convince, even though they buy in, right? Part of them buying in, it was because you had to try to nudge them to do it, which means the nudge means they weren't really that interested in the first place. So now this is why he's trying to get the deal and trying to get a lower or whatever. He's trying to do something to make it way less easy because he didn't really want it initially. Do you see what I'm saying? Which is why he's, you know, hanging up the phone, or he's like, yeah, I get all these. I'm not really, you see what I'm saying? But what happened is you wore him down.
Right. I did.
Right.
Persistence kills resistance. Grant Cardone. You know what I mean?
Right. But see, and that's the thing. So, because even this is the thing, that the saying persistence kills resistance is not true. You see what I'm saying? Because he still was resisting. All persistence does, right, is persistence, right, just delays resistance. That's it.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying? Because there's still going to be some resistance there. So the only thing you need to be persistent with is yourself. So being persistent with yourself means that I'm persistent in making these calls, plural. I'm persistent in talking to these women, plural, meaning that you're not being stopped by any one person or one woman and making that the thing and trying to break through the resistance because it's a waste of time. That's all I'm saying. See what I'm saying is this, is that you can still, because look, you can still get the sale, you can still do all these things. The issue though is that what comes with it is resistance. You see what I'm saying?
Right.